Hello everyone. Welcome to another episode of Andrew's Awesome Carcast. As always, I'm Andrew Francis, and let's just get rolling. So, I wasn't too sure I was going to make this episode, but then I was like, yeah, fuck it, let's do it. So, as of recording this, it is Wednesday, April 24th, or as the majority of the world knows it, Endgame Eve. Because tomorrow, Thursday, April 25th, early screenings of Avengers Endgame go live. Me personally, I of course will be seeing it tomorrow, 11:30 p.m. in IMAX. Because that was the only show in IMAX my friends and I could get tickets for. And we knew in advance this movie is shot entirely in IMAX. So we wanted we could have gotten a regular time show, like, like an 8 or 9 o'clock show, and, just like a regular theater. But we wanted our first experience of this movie to be as epic as it could be. And so it had to be 11:30 p.m. So that's what we're doing. And man, I am hyped for this. I am beyond hyped. I can't believe it's finally here. 10 years, 22 movies leading up to this moment. Can't wait to see how this all ends. So yeah, this whole episode is just gonna be me talking about just the Marvel Cinematic Universe in general. I'll throw out some Endgame predictions, and this year we go from there. So as I said, 10 years, 22 movies leading up to this. This is fucking insane that this movie even exists at this point. 10 years ago when Iron Man 1 first came out, and yeah, sure, we got that end scene, with Nick Fury being like, hey, I want to talk to you about the Avengers Initiative. Still, no one could have known that this is where it would all lead to. Iron Man, Thor, Captain America, Ant-Man, Doctor Strange, the Hulk, all of them. Spider-Man, everyone just jammed into just two epic movies. Just because we had Infinity War, and now we're going to have Endgame. And looking back on all the movies leading up to this, I gotta say, this is probably the best cinematic universe in history. I mean, first of all, nothing can compare to just sheer numbers wise, I don't think. Actually, I'm not sure how many Bond movies there are. I've never actually counted. But I know, not all the Bond movies are connected. There's Pierce Brosnan Bond, Sean Connery Bond, Timothy Dalton Bond, Daniel Craig Bond. But, sure, all the Daniel Craig movies are connected, but they're not connected in any way, shape, or form to Pierce Brosnan or anything before that. Whereas, all of these movies that have happened in the Marvel universe are all interconnected. And looking back, I say even if all they were, all the Bond movies were connected, I would still say that the Marvel Cinematic Universe is better. Just because I look back on all these movies, and honestly, don't get me wrong, there are rankings, there's plenty of lists out there where people rank the Cinematic Universe, but on a whole, there aren't really any bad Marvel movies. Now I know they're the ones that are considered the worst of the bunch, which in my personal opinion would be movies like Thor: The Dark World, Iron Man 3. I don't know, me personally. Again, it's all me personally, but I got Ant-Man and Ant-Man and the Wasp pretty low down there. But still, that's just their rankings in the Marvel Cinematic Universe. In terms of just general film, TV and movies in general, they're way above average. I don't know what's playing in theaters right now, but I'm sure there's some stupid ass romantic comedy or teen drama bullshit, I don't know, whatever. I would never watch that in a million years, but I'll watch Thor: The Dark World if it's on TV when I get home right now. If you put a gun to my head and you said, hey Andrew, you have to watch right now either Thor: The Dark World or Uncle Drew, what are you doing? I've seen 5 minutes of Uncle Drew. I've seen Thor: The Dark World 4 times. I'm watching Thor: The Dark World again. That's what I mean by but these movies are just varying degrees of good. Like, objectively speaking, I don't think any of them are bad movies. And yeah, again, and that continuity, that is impressive. That is very, very, very impressive that they have been able to intertwine all these movies together. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm sure they're not perfect, and there's things I'm not thinking of right now where it's like, well, wait, if this happened in this movie, why didn't this happen in this movie? I'm sure there are plenty of nitpicky little things like that, but I'm willing to bet they even got most of those. You know, like, I'm willing to bet, like, you know, if you little nitpicks, like, oh, you know, like, why was this like this and that movie, da, da, da. Like, even the little things are covered. Sure, there's some things that are gonna fall through the cracks because, fuck it, no one's perfect. But, you know, just the way they've been able to seamlessly blend all these movies together, fucking amazing. You know, like, you got the way, like, you know, you have the way they worked Iron Man into the Spider-Man story, and, you know, like, they even said, I forget if this was ever confirmed true, I think it was, where it's like in Iron Man 2 is confirmed that the little kid that Iron Man saved outside of the Stark Expo was, like, in the Iron Man, the little kid in the Iron Man mask and glove was Peter Parker. Like, just little things like that. It's amazing. It's great. And then it's just, sorry, I lost my train of thought there for a second. I'm getting excited. But yeah, and it's just all leading up to Endgame, which I don't know how it's gonna go down. I don't, and I love that I don't. So I guess I'll start. This is me segueing into predictions pretty seamlessly. But yeah, so I don't know how this is going to turn out at all, because the trailers have done a remarkable job, and they did this for Infinity War too. And I believe this was confirmed for all the Endgame trailers, because I remember for the Infinity War trailers, the Russo brothers and Kevin Feige all confirmed that all footage you saw from the trailers for Infinity War came from the first 15 to 20 minutes of the movie, and I believe that's the same thing for Endgame. So we haven't seen anything past the first half an hour at most. And that's great, because those trailers are fucking amazing. Like, and even like, the trailers even get me so hyped, and like, there's the ones that just have old footage. Like, there's the Legacy trailer where it shows you clips and the titles of, like, every movie. Like, it shows you from Iron Man 1, you know, all the way to now. So, you know, all the Captain Americas, all the Thors, Doctor Strange, Ant-Man, blah, blah, blah. And with the narration over it. And even that just gets me hyped. Like, they could have just shown me that. I didn't even need the original one with the footage, with like the new footage from the movie, you know, like with even though I fucking love it, like the trailer, the scene in the trailer where it's them walking in the whites, everyone's in the matching white suits. Like, you could have not shown me that. You could have just shown me that Legacy trailer and I'd still be fucking hyped out of my mind. But the fact that you even showed me that, and I know that, like, that's not a major thing, that's coming within the first 20 minutes of the movie, let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. And so, since I brought it up, I'm gonna talk about it. Those white suits that they're wearing, I personally subscribe to the theory that those are quantum suits. Again, don't worry, none of this is confirmed. I am not going to spoil this movie in any way, shape, or form. Frankly, because I can't, because I don't know any spoilers. Everything I'm spitting here is just my own personal theory. But so yeah, so the theory I personally subscribe to is that those are the quantum suits. So something is going to be done within the quantum realm to help solve, you know, the problem of how do you beat Thanos, how do you bring back everyone who was killed. And the lead piece of evidence behind that theory was, I believe someone pointed out that those white suits look remarkably like suits that were hanging up in the background of, I forget if it was Ant-Man 1 or Ant-Man 2 or possibly even both. But yeah, there's someone pointed out that in some of the background shots, you see, like I said, a suit that looks very much remarkably like that hanging up in the background of Hank Pym's workshop. And I think that's the answer there. I think that the team is going into the quantum realm to do who knows what. I don't know. Can't wait to find out, though. Or, you know, they could be the spacesuits. You know, I don't think so, though, just because, like, what's the point? What would be the point of, say, War Machine wearing, you know, like that spacesuit? Like, I'm pretty sure Tony solved that issue at some point. Whereas, like, the Iron Man suits, and I'm gonna assume, again, assuming Rhodey's War Machine suit can survive in space. Maybe not for long or anything like that, but like are airtight, would be able to withstand that pressure. So yeah, I think that's one thing. I think those are the quantum suits. As for the major thing everyone has been talking about and trying to predict, at least in my world anyways, is sorry, again, really excited for this movie. It's all mashed up in my head. Everyone's trying to guess who is going to live, who is going to die at the end of this. Now, there are certain ones that, just because of the way movies are announced and whatnot, we already know certain answers to. Like, we have the trailer and a release date for Spider-Man Far From Home, so shocking, Spider-Man is going to come back. We know that Black Panther 2 is coming, so we know Black Panther comes back. So the big three are, in my opinion, the biggest question marks on the table, which would be, when I say the big three, I mean the original three trilogies that we got of Iron Man, Captain America, and Thor. And yeah, I've been giving it some thought, and personally, I think everyone lives. Literally everyone. I don't think anyone is killed off in this movie. I think they bring back everyone. Now, that being said, that doesn't mean I think we're going to necessarily see them in the movies again. I just think that they're going to, like, Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr., their contracts with Marvel have expired after Infinity War. And to my recent knowledge, they haven't re-upped or anything like that. So I just think, you know, like, Tony Stark, Robert Downey Jr. has been Tony Stark for 10 years now. I think he's ready to move on from the role. But I don't think he's closing the door on it. So that's why I don't think Marvel wants to close that door either. Marvel/Disney. Because all for a new Iron Man, like, you want to bring in someone else to wear the suit, that's cool. I don't think they'll do a full reboot. I'll get into that later. But yeah, but I think what's going to happen in terms of just Tony Stark is that I think Tony's going to retire. Like, he kind of did in 3, you know, like when he blew up all his suits. But, you know, he's still like, oh, I'll always be Iron Man. I think it's going to be like that. But I think it's going to be a much more permanent / semi-permanent thing. Where, like, he might be done wearing the suit, but he'll still be, like I said, he'll still be somewhat involved. Like, maybe he puts the suit down, but then, like, he's going to be like a liaison for the government. You know, like, maybe he'll be the go-between between the Avengers and the government, but we'll just never see him. You know, who knows what they'll do, but yeah, I don't think they're going to kill him for that reason. Like, and same for Captain America. I don't think they kill off Captain America just because, you know, like, who knows, down the road, like 4 or 5 movies down the road, maybe you want to have a little cameo, you know? And you wouldn't be able to do that if he's dead. Although, I do think Captain America is the most likely candidate to die. If someone is going to die, he is who I would have my money on. Just because of his character and, you know, his past and all that. Like, death might almost be... well, he does have that new girlfriend now, Peggy Carter's niece. I forget what her name is. But yeah, he does have that girlfriend now, although we don't know what happened to her during the snap, but either way. But yeah, I think it would make the most sense for him to die just because his life was in the past, you know? Like, he grew up during World War II and then, you know, slept for 70 years in cryo freeze, unintentional cryo freeze. and then woke up, you know, in this new world. And granted, he has adapted, you know, like I said, he's, you know, like they had some fun with it in Captain America 2, like where you had that list of like music you had to listen to, and they made some jokes in Avengers 1 or 2, I think it was 1, you know, where he's like, where they made a Wizard of Oz reference. He's like, I get that, I understand that reference, and he was all happy about it. And then, like I said, he has the girlfriend now, but still, like, he is just in turn, like, even more so than Thor. Like, Thor, whose entire world was destroyed, his family is, for the moment anyways, all dead. Well, I definitely think Odin is dead. Odin didn't get snapped, but, well, technically neither did Loki. Loki got his neck snapped, but yeah, but I mean, but still, his entire family is dead, his world is dead, but still, like, I feel he has found more of a place on Earth than Captain America has. Just maybe because of his personal demeanor. You know, like Thor carries a warrior's pain, by which, you know, like, he has suffered greatly, but he puts on like the mask of a clown to hide a warrior's pain. So, like, he still has fun and, you know, like, laughs and jokes and yada yada yada. Like, he has that line in Infinity War where he's fighting back tears, and he, you know, like, where he's talking to Rocket and I forget who else, and he's saying, you know, it's like, well, you know, my world is dead, my brother's dead, what more can they possibly take from me? I've got nothing to lose, of course I'm going to win this. But, you know, like I said, he's fighting back tears, and so like he uses that to kind of hide his pain. And but even though he has lost all that, lost everything, again, I still think he's found more of a place on Earth than Captain America has, being out of time. Captain America just seems to be more of a like, I don't mean depressing as in like he's a total fucking downer, but I mean he seems to be more of a depressing character than Thor. Like, it seems easier for Thor to find the silver lining in the clouds than it does for Captain America. And then, like I said, with Chris Evans' contract being up, and, you know, no more, at the moment anyways, no more confirmed Captain America movies. And then, of course, there's all the theories about Bucky Barnes picking up the shield, or Sam being the new Captain America, or possibly even both. Like, I think that was a story in the comics. Not 100% sure, but I think it was a story in the comics where there was, like, there was no singular Captain America. There was just, like, a Captain America team in which Sam and God damn it, why can't I think of the name? Sam and Bucky, Jesus. Total brain aneurysm right there. Which Sam and Bucky were a part of. So, like, I could see that potentially being part of it, or if you just want to pass it on to one of them. If you're passing it on to one of them, I think it would probably be Bucky. Like, I see them making him the new Captain America. Just because, like, he just basically aesthetic-wise, like, his look is closer to Captain America's. And I don't mean that just because he's white, and, you know, Chris Evans is white, and the actor who plays Bucky Barnes, whose again name escaped me, is white. I just mean that, like, you know, Falcon has the wings and the guns and all that, whereas, you know, the Winter Soldier, he's more of a grounded look, literally and figuratively. But yeah, so back to my original point, I think if you are going to kill someone, I think it's Cap. But honestly, I don't think any of them die. Just like I said, for the sake of possibly bringing them back for cameo purposes later on down the road. I think they step aside. Like I said, for Iron Man, I could see him being, you know, like a government liaison. Especially if you remember in Civil War, like as it happened in the comics, Iron Man was more on the side of the guards, like, no, we need to regulate this. You know, like, we're all just weapons who need, you know, to be registered, because, like, what if one of us go rogue? So, like, I could see him easily taking on that role, or possibly even like, well, no, I guess not. I was going to say maybe taking over Nick Fury's position as director of S.H.I.E.L.D., but then I just remembered in Far From Home, we see Nick Fury in Spider-Man's European hotel room or apartment, whatever it is, and he's clearly still doing his thing. So yeah, I doubt that's it. But like I said, some sort of government role. What Captain America would do, is, like I said, like right now to me, the character of Captain America feels more like an outsider in his own world than, as I said, Thor does. So what I can see him doing is, you know, they stop Thanos, save the world, all that, and he just hangs up. He's like, you know what? I've done my bit. You know, I served during World War II. I got fucking frozen for 70 years. I came back, I did all this shit, saved the world countless times, Ultron, Thanos, Loki, all that shit. You know, he's like, I'm too old. I'm just gonna sit back and enjoy, you know, some happiness. I'm gonna, here with my girlfriend, go fuck off to wherever, you know, New York, I guess. And then someone else, like I said, someone else picks up the shield, who, again, my money would be on Bucky. Thor, I don't know, because I could see his arc going one of two ways. One, I could see what they were originally trying to do at the end of Ragnarok slash beginning of Infinity War, when he had, you know, he was on the big ship with all of Asgard, and they were heading for Earth to set up, you know, to live on Earth. Like, hey, you know, Asgard's destroyed, we need somewhere to live now. Why not Earth? So I could see them, you know, once they saw it, like Thor's just like, well, now I live here on Earth, you know. Like now the, you know, it's easier for him now to, you know, team up with the Avengers. You don't have to worry about him being in space, whatever. He just lives on Earth. There you go. Or in reversing the snap, they somehow figure out a way to bring back Asgard. Even though I know it wasn't snapped out, it was destroyed by well, technically destroyed by Thor. He's the one who set it in motion, but it was destroyed by I forget who the fuck that guy, the big flame monster at the end of Ragnarok that Hulk wanted to fight, that guy. Yeah, but still, within solving that problem, I could see them potentially solving the Asgard problem as well. So yeah, I could see either one of those. The more likely candidate, I'm gonna go with him on Earth. I think you bring back some of the people. I don't think you bring back Asgard. Just because, like I said, for the sole purpose of, if Thor is now living on Earth, it's easier for him to be in other movies. So, like, you know, Thor could be in Black Panther 2. Thor can be in the next Spider-Man movie. He can be in the next, you know, that Black Widow movie. Although I think that Black Widow movie might take place in the past. But if it doesn't, he could be in that movie. Oh, excuse me. You know, just because it's easier if he's just on Earth. But we'll see. Next prediction I want to make. Will Thanos die? I don't know. This is, to me, the toughest one. Don't get me wrong, again, as I've said, I have no insider information. I've kept myself spoiler free on all of this. But for me personally, those others are more, there's more evidence leading up to those that I can kind of make an educated guess. Sort of, not really. But with Thanos, I don't know. Because I could see them killing him because just, you know, he's that big of a threat where it's like, no, we got to put this fucker down. If we don't put this guy down, he will one day come back and potentially, you know, destroy not just humanity, destroy the universe in a way that we can't reverse. And, you know, he'll just keep coming back. We had to put this fucker down. I could see that. But then again, like, I could see, just again, for story purposes, for solely story purposes, I could see them keeping Thanos alive just to bring him back later on down the road. You know, because, like, Thanos is a great villain in the Marvel Universe. You know, it's like, you don't necessarily want to lose him when you could potentially have a lot more stories with him. Or, you know, maybe not a lot more, maybe they feel he's been done, but still, like, come back somehow, you know? Which is also a reason I believe. Saying it out loud, like, it makes me second guess it. You know, I was gonna say, which makes me believe that Loki is gonna come back, But I don't know, just because we've gotten a lot more Loki than we have Thanos. Like, let's see, we had Loki, Thor 1, we had Loki. Thor 2, we had Loki. Thor 3, Ragnarok, we had Loki. Avengers 1, we had Loki. Infinity War for a bit, we had Loki. So that's 5 movies of Loki. But I don't know, he's a very, very popular character. And then, again, with the Infinity Gauntlet, everything is in play. Everything is in play. So we'll see how, but if I had to put money on Loki, I think he's done. I think Tom Hiddleston is done with the role. I don't think they bring Loki back. I think they've told enough stories there where they could just let that be. Because especially after Thor 1 and Avengers, where he was the major villain in both of those movies, I think like he's had his time. Because in every other movie he appears in, he's either the anti-hero / secondary villain. You know, like he was never the, besides those, and you can make an argument in Avengers that he was never the main villain, that, you know, Thanos was pulling the strings the whole time, but, you know, you never fucking saw Thanos, so whatever. Yeah, so besides those two, everything else Loki was in, he was kind of in a secondary role. So I think they're done with him as a major villain. So to bring him back just to be another, like, a B plot / you know, like comedic relief pain in Thor's ass, like, I don't see that. Especially now that you have Valkyrie for that. Like, she's kind of and Valkyrie and the Hulk for that matter. Like those are 2 other characters that Thor can play off of for a comedic value. Like, you don't necessarily need Loki for that anymore. Like, we don't need to see Loki playing stupid tricks on Thor for comedic value in the movies. And yeah, if you're not going to bring him back to be a major villain, which again already been done twice, I don't think you need to bring him back at all. I think Tom Hiddleston's done anyways. So yeah, I think Loki stays dead. Those are the big ones. I'll circling back to Thanos. So yeah, in terms of whether he lives or dies, final answer, I'm gonna say lives. I'm gonna say Thanos lives. So again, solely because I think they may want to bring him back later on down the line, because he's never like a minor threat in the Marvel Universe. Whenever you bring him out, it's major, it's epic, get some great stories out of him. So I think he comes back. And then also another reason for that is now that Disney Marvel has acquired the rights to the X-Men universe. Like, so now after this, like, Endgame was going to be the end of this phase. I forget what fucking phase we're in, if this is 3 or 4. But like, Endgame was going to be the end. But now Kevin Feige has come out and said that it's actually going to be Far From Home that's going to be the end of this current phase. So after Far From Home, which ends that phase, you know, that's when the big question comes out: do you reboot the whole universe? Like, do you let it ride? You know, like rewrite some things. I don't know how, but so yeah, I don't know how they're gonna do it, but somehow they're going to work the X-Men into this. Like, we're gonna get a new Wolverine, we're gonna get a new Cyclops, we're gonna get a new Jean Grey, Professor X, Magneto, all the rest. Because yeah, after, like I said, with the reboot, after Dark Phoenix does its thing, why that movie is happening, fuck it at this point, whatever. It looks horrible. I'm probably not going to see it in theaters. I'll catch it on HBO or whatever. But yeah, after Dark Phoenix, I think from there, you kill that franchise. Like, that run of X-Men is done. First Class was good. Days of Future Past was good. Apocalypse sucked. Dark Phoenix, even though, granted, I haven't seen it, I could be wrong, so take it with a grain of salt, but I don't think I'm gonna be. That movie's probably gonna suck. Hang on. driving safe, kids. Drive safe. So yeah, after that, you just scrap that entire X-Men universe. Like, okay, they're done. Let's bring them in proper in the MCU. And so I don't know how they're gonna do that. But again, and I keep going off all these tangents. Bringing that back to Thanos. So I think with having all those elements, I think you're gonna want to someday tell a new story with Thanos and the X-Men. You know, of course, also, you know, like Spider-Man, Black Panther, all of them too. But it's now that you have all your toys, you know what I mean? It's like you've been playing with only, we'll call it 85 to 90% of the toys in the Marvel universe, because the X-Men are, in my personal opinion, their second most popular IP. Spider-Man being number one, then the X-Men, and then probably Captain America, Iron Man, yada 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 yada. But so yeah, there are all these great X-Men stories to be told where you can tie in the rest of the Avengers. And I think it would be a shame to not potentially have Thanos in that, because if you look at the original comic stories and even some of the newer cartoons as well, like when the Avengers face Thanos, like there is an X-Men presence there. And it would be a shame not to have that. And hell, I even want them to bring back Ultron. I remember in the comic, there's an Ultron storyline where I think it might be like the return of Ultron, or like Ultron's Revenge, whatever the fuck they call it, I don't know. Where so like the Avengers, you know, like and all them, they beat Ultron barely by the skin of their teeth, but then he fucking comes back. And like when Ultron, that's the other thing why Age of Ultron is such a disappointment. Because Ultron is a major threat in the Marvel universe. Like, he is a top tier villain. Like when he rolls up, like you shit your pants. Because in the comics and in the cartoon, like Ultron has the ability to spread himself to both organic and inorganic material just by touching it. So like he takes over humans. Like he touches a human body, and you know, like all these nanotechnology, or whatever the fuck you want to call it, liquid metal, scary as hell shit comes over, and he takes over a human body. So like when he comes back, shit gets turned up. And there's a part I remember in the comic where he returns, where like the Avengers are so desperate, they send Wolverine back in time to kill Hank Pym. Because in the original origin story of Ultron, Hank Pym created Ultron. And the way they play it out in the comics is, like, they know Hank Pym so well that there's no way he won't create Ultron. Like, they can't talk him out of it. Like, as hard as they try, like, tell me, like, hey, they go back in time, whatever, like, beg, plead, you know, with Hank. Hank, please don't do this. This does not end well in every variation. It just becomes a, you know, fucking ultimate kill bot. Like, he still does it. So they send Wolverine back in time because he's one of the few people who can actually survive the trip, you know? Like, where even he tries to plead with Hank for a second, like, Hank, don't do it. Hank's like, no, I can do it. I can make the perfect robot, whatever, blah, blah, blah. And Wolverine cuts his fucking head off. It's awesome. Look that up. Wolverine cuts Hank Pym's head off to try to stop the creation of Ultron. It still doesn't work. Like, all because of how far he was in reason, because of how advanced Ultron was, Ultron still comes into being. But yeah, Wolverine kills Hank Pym. And so, again, circling back to my original point about now you can actually tell that story. Like, because now the X-Men and Ultron exist in the same universe, you can tell dope stories like that. So, bringing it back to Thanos, now that you have the X-Men and Thanos, you could tell dope stories like that. So that's why I don't think they kill Thanos. Because now, like I said, you have all your toys in the chest. You got them all. You've collected the whole set. Now let's have some fun. So yeah, so I think Thanos lives. They probably, they fuck him up for sure and probably, you know, banish him to some far reaches of the universe, or, you know, whatever the hell. You know, I don't know, whatever. They'll figure it out. But yeah, I don't think Thanos dies. And speaking of the X-Men, man, I am all over the fucking place. So yeah, I do wonder if there's something we will get in this movie, whether, you know, like just like a little tidbit thrown in somewhere in the middle, like a little throwaway line, or possibly an end credit scene, or just something that's done in the end to, you know, like to defeat Thanos, with how we're going, that will somewhat or possibly fully answer the question of how they are going to introduce mutants into this world. Because up until now, they can't even say mutants. Like, I forget what they called, like the two most blatant ripoffs were Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch, who in the comics, they are the children of Magneto. Like, that's Magneto's daughter, that's Magneto's son. They're mutants. Whereas in Age of Ultron, I forget what they call them. If they just call them like enhanced or something like that. It's been too long since I've seen that movie. I forget exactly the word that you use to describe, but my point is they don't call them mutants because they couldn't, because that property was owned by Fox, but now Disney owns it. We can get mutants. So yeah, so I wonder if there's going to be a little thing in there where it's just, you know, like, oh, you know, like the mutant gene, or, you know, like the little thing on the background of the TV, you know, or something on a newspaper. Or if, you know, by, you know, to defeat Thanos, they have to reset reality. And, you know, like, in the end, we just have, like, literally, we're just on a new timeline where, you know, the snap didn't happen, Thanos doesn't exist, or, you know, never came or whatever, but we have mutants. Whatever it might be, I don't know. We'll find out. Well, that's, again, we'll find out. That's if they even do it. If I had to bet, I'm gonna say no. I want them to. I would love for them to set that off now so we can get that ball rolling immediately. But if, again, had to put money on it, I would say no, there's not going to be any reference to the X-Men or mutants in general in Endgame, just because, like, it probably wouldn't flow naturally with the story they're going to tell. So that covers that. Oh, next prediction. Okay, the other thing that's been debated is who is going to deliver the finishing blow to Thanos. Like, who is going to be the one to put him down? Again, I personally don't think you kill him, but still, there's going to be, you know, like, there's going to be, who's going to land the blow? Like, is it going to be Captain Marvel? Is it going to be, okay, this isn't going to be it, but, you know, it's still fun. You know, like, the theory of Ant-Man's going to shrink himself down, crawl up Thanos' ass, expand, and, you know, basically explode into bits. That's not going to happen. Still fun, though. You know, like, what's going to happen? Is Iron Man going to somehow augment his suit that he can fight Thanos more effectively now? What's it going to be? I think, obviously, it's going to be a huge team effort. We're going to get the huge battle of, at least, I hope anyways, I hope it's everyone. I hope that they find a way to bring everyone back. All the Guardians, all the original Avengers, you know, Spider-Man, and it's literally just like Thanos standing up to all of them, however many there are. I forget, it might be like 30 something, 30 heroes in total, I don't know. And Thanos just like fucking bring it. And you see, like, it's just like a war, like where it's just all these people trying to gang up on Thanos, and Thanos still whooping them. And, you know, like, we're getting combo moves out the ass, yada yada yada. But so, like, who gets to deliver the finishing blow to Thanos? Like, who's the one that finally puts him down? I'm gonna guess Captain America. Especially because, as I said earlier, I believe he's the most likely to die or to not come back later on as a cameo. Even though I do think, again, as I said, I think he's coming back as a cameo. But I can see him being the man to deliver the final blow to Thanos. Like I said, like, everyone else weakens him, like whether they've invented some device or whatever, but I feel like he's the one who puts him down. Like, he's gonna put him down and he's gonna give a speech about it. You know, like, they're gonna have him on the ropes and Thanos is gonna be like, you know, something along the lines of, "This is impossible. I have the gauntlet. I'm, you know, I am willpower, blah, 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 I'm all powerful. And Captain America is, gonna be like, yeah, well, patriotism, heroism, yada, 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 whatever the fuck it's gonna be, and then just smacks him. And like, he's gonna be the one to lay out Thanos. That's my guess. And then, like I said, he's either gonna do that, and then he's gonna retire and ride off into the sunset, or he's gonna do that and die. Like, it's gonna be the like the Superman Doomsday thing, like where they both punch each other so hard they both died. Where like Cap has just like a little ounce of strength left, and he delivers the final blow to Thanos, but then collapses and dies right there in front of everyone. Like, I can see that. That'd be epic as well. No matter what they're gonna do, I'm gonna love it. But yeah, I think he's the lead candidate. If not him, then probably Thor, just because we've already demonstrated Thor's already demonstrated that he has the ability to kill Thanos. Like remember at the end of Infinity War, literally the moment before the snap, he hurled his new axe Stormbreaker into Thanos' chest, and if he wouldn't have been dicking around, he could have killed him then and there. So like he has the potential, he has the power to kill Thanos. Captain Marvel probably does too. Like, we'll see when she finally stands toe to toe with him what kind of damage she can do to him exactly. But I don't think you do Captain Marvel just because she's the new kid. Like, she hasn't quote unquote earned it. Even though Captain Marvel's a good movie, she's demonstrated she's a very powerful being in this universe. If they want to do it, I just hope they do it right. I personally would be slightly disappointed because I am in the camp of she hasn't earned it. Like, Thor's been in how many movies now? Lost his whole family and all that shit. He deserves to kill Thanos. Like, if anyone deserves to drive an axe into this dude's skull, it's this guy. So yeah, he would be my number 2 choice, and then of course number 3, Iron Man, just because Iron Man is the OG. And then it'd be kind of poetic justice as well, because you remember in Infinity War, he is the only one to actually inflict any sort of, besides Thor flinging the axe, he's the only other one who inflicts any sort of damage on Thanos. He's fighting Thanos on Titan, and Thanos has that line, all that effort for just a drop of blood, because no one else could scratch him. And then of course, he blocked, Iron Man then formed a nanotech spike to try and stab Thanos, but Thanos just ripped that off and went and stabbed Tony with it. So poetic justice. Like, you stabbed and tried to kill me, so now I'm gonna stab and defeat / kill you, whatever. So like, I could see that. I don't think Black Panther or Spider-Man do it, because again, they're more kind of the new kids, and plus, like, just in terms of pure weaponry, I don't see them just having the tech to do that. Whereas, like, Cap can shield smack him, Thor has the axe, and Iron Man just has every gadget known to man. So yeah, again, I'm gonna go with Captain America to deliver the finishing blow. Whether it's a killing blow or not, I don't know. I don't think so, but I'm gonna go with final blow to Captain America. Let's see. What else is there to predict? Probably should have wrote some of this shit down, but that's not how I do things. End credit scene. Oh, again, in my perfect little ideal world, you give me X-Men. You set me up for the X-Men. That would be so great. That's just like in the end credits, whatever it is, I don't know how you do it. You just give me a shot of the mansion, maybe you just see like Professor X watching TV or Wolverine or something, I don't know. But I know it's not gonna be that, just because it's too early. And then there is don't get me wrong, if anyone can do it, it's the Russos and Feige, where if you could hide this secret, that'd be fucking amazing. But I'm not even sure they're capable, because if you showed me the X-Men, that would mean you have the cast already. And there's no way they'd be able to keep that a secret. Like, that's too big of a secret. There's no way. Again, if anyone could do it, it'd be them. But I don't think even they could pull that off. So I don't think it's going to be X-Men. Again, though, pie in the sky dreams, that's what it would be for me. Like, just give me something to set up the X-Men. Realistically, what it will be, the safe, boring bet is something that sets up Far From Home, just because that's the next movie. You know, give me a little something about Spider-Man. So that's one potential thing. Like I said, I believe that's the safe / boring bet. Also, I could potentially see it being, I mean, really, there's infinite options. Because how they're gonna reset this thing, how they're gonna reset everything to bring it back, like that just opens the floodgates. It's like it could be Loki, you know, like the end credit scene could be Loki waking up, you know, just like you show, or like as they're coming back and you see Loki and Odin, even, you know, I think you're more likely to see Loki than Odin for sure, but you know, like it could be like we see they've saved everything. As camera cuts to outer space, we see a wide shot of Asgard, and you just see like Loki materialize out of nowhere. You know, like then give some smart aleck remark, and boom, there it is. Yeah, so like I said, it's really endless possibilities. Like I said, most realistic, because Marvel tends to do something they tend to do two, as you're probably aware of. They do one that sets up the next movie, and then one for world building. So the mid-credit scene, which will be the one that that sets up the next movie, that's where we'll probably get our Spider-Man thing. You know, like, so we'll see a little something with Peter Parker doing, you know, whatever. Maybe getting a new suit, maybe just, you know, coming home to Aunt May, whatever. And then the world, like I said, the general world building one, that's where you could potentially drop the X-Men. I know you're not, but still, hold out hope. But the world building one, so yeah, I'm definitely gonna say the mid-credit scene is Spider-Man. Something to help us with Far From Home. That's where I'm placing my chips there. Again, could be wrong, but that's where I'm placing my chips. World building. The end credit scene. I don't know. I really don't know on that one. That's the wild card. That's a real wild card. If put a gun to my head though, had to guess, I'm gonna say we're gonna see a hint of the new Iron Man or Captain America. You know? Like, be it Bucky picking up the shield, and like literally just that simple, just like, you know, whether Cap is dead or retired, you know, like if he's dead, you know, like this little memorial where his shield is like laying against something or something like that. You know, like his shield is in shield as in strategic homeland, blah 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 blah, like in shield storage. So like just him taking out of that, or you know, like whoever Iron Man is passing his suit down to. I know there's the theory of Shuri. I don't think that theory holds any water, just because I think you keep her in the Black Panther universe. Like I see her right now as being his guy, his quote unquote guy, although girl in the chair. You know, like she is his tech person. Hang on, driving here. Okay, we're good. Yeah, like because like she is gonna be the one. I see her being the one in his ear, coming through with some comedic relief every now and again and whatnot, you know. And plus, at the moment, at least, I'm trying to think back to Infinity War and Black Panther for that matter. I don't think they've really demonstrated Shuri has any like real exceptional fighting capabilities that I can recall. In Black Panther, I know she has that little scene against where she's fighting Killmonger, where she has those like Panther concussion gauntlets. I don't know what you call them on you know, like she's blasting him. But like Killmonger gets up from that and smacks her down, and then she picks them up again in Infinity War when she's rushing to try and remove the Mind Stone from Vision, but gets ambushed by I remember what the fuck her name is. You know, one of Thanos's evil, whatever the fuck, I don't know. Again, I can't keep it all together. But yeah, I don't recall Shuri ever showing any particular fighting aptitude. So maybe, but you know, like, of course you can always be trained, of course. Like, if you want to put her in the Iron Man suit, sure. So yeah, I guess you could give me something where like it's just a little scene where, like, you know, if Robert Downey Jr., if he's still alive, you know, it's like, hey kid, you got real potential. You ever thought about, you know, being a hero or something like that? But I don't think that's the way to go with her. I think you build to that. So like, I think if you're gonna have Shuri be the successor to Iron Man, I think you put her in one more Black Panther movie and kind of, you know, build her up a bit. Like, let her have, because Black Panther 1 is, you know, very, very much just about Black Panther and Killmonger. So like, I think you do Black Panther 2 and you build her up a little bit. You like give her her own little side story, you know, like let her be a focal point. And then from there, then you launch her into her own main plot of becoming the next Iron Man, Iron Woman, if you want. So yeah, I don't see that being it, but yeah, I think I'm gonna go with, again, I wanna go with, gun to my head, new Captain America. I think we see someone pick up the shield. That's where I think we're going with that route. But yeah, I think that's about gonna do it for predictions for me. And yeah, man, I cannot reiterate how stoked I am for this movie. I've never been this hyped for a movie in my life. All these years, all these movies leading up to this. I think this will be the best Marvel movie of all time. Like, I think this is easily going to be the best one. Like, I don't see how it can't be. They've, you know, proven time and time again they know what they're doing. They know how to do this, and they know how important this one is. So I think, you know, you pull out all the stops for this. Like, again, I don't see this happening at all, but like at its worst, if you will, like, say this movie isn't as hype as I think it's going to be in my head, like, at its worst, I think this movie is like Doctor Strange. Like, Doctor Strange to me is a mid-tier Marvel movie, and it's still a good movie. You know, like, I enjoyed Doctor Strange. I'd watch Doctor Strange right now. But like, Doctor Strange to me is like a... Hey, sorry about that weird cut right there. I actually didn't run out of battery or fill up my card. My camera overheated and shut itself down there for a second. So, finishing that thought real quick before I wrap it up, now that I know what's happening. Yeah, I think at its worst, Endgame is going to be like a mid-tier movie like Doctor Strange, which to me is a 7 out of 10. Still very, very, very enjoyable. Just not, you know, like as hype as I had it up in my head. But again, I don't see that happening at all. I really think this is going to be the best Marvel movie of all time. Possibly even one of my favorite movies of all time. We'll see. Gotta watch the thing. But yeah, again, super hyped for this movie. Can't wait to see it. You know, I'll be seeing that tomorrow. And yeah, my next video will most likely / definitely be... Yeah, it cut off again. Sorry about that. So yeah, my next video will most likely / definitely be my review of Endgame. So be on the lookout for that. Yeah, thanks for watching. Always appreciate it. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram, both at KingFranchise88. And yeah, I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.